It's showtime.
Hey guys, Django, Fett here, hunting down games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more. And this is a review for Godzilla, King of the Monsters. First off, guys, I want to be honest with you. Okay, honest and upfront. And just say fuck the critics. Okay, fuck them. They are just so dead wrong about this film. You know, Angry Joe, who has a complete fucking bias against these movies, despite being a so-called Godzilla fan, and not understanding the previous plots of the other Godzilla films, and them being all about the humans, and then a little bit of the Godzilla, you know? The monsters and stuff. That's always been the premise of the previous Godzilla films. I don't know what the fuck he's smoking. We asked for more Godzilla, you know, me including. We got what you wanted, and he still fucking bitches about this movie. Fuck him, man. I'm done with his movie reviews. I'll listen to a few, one or two, but man, this guy's a joke when it comes to movie reviews. He is a fucking joke. And then we have Chris Stuckman. He's the last one I want to mention. And fucking comparing this movie to Godzilla 1998? Are you fucking out of your mind? Are you fucking insane? What is wrong with you? This movie is not even close to that level. On another planet. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking when he was saying that towards the end of his review. But, man, I love you, Chris Stuckman, man, but sometimes your criticisms are just so off base. They're just so insane. And the only person I will recommend you watch is, you know, Jeremy Jahns, who was actually, you know, he was fine about his critique about the film. And, you know, Matt over at Super Best Friends, or used to be Super Best Friends. I'll put a link for his review in the description because it's actually really good. And I can't believe I'm seeing such a huge discrepancy. I've never seen a high discrepancy like this since The Last Jedi, and that was like the highest discrepancy to date with the, you know, user scores compared to the critique scores, or the critic scores. 40 to 85%? Are you fucking out of your goddamn mind? Just goddamn, it's just too much, man. That's why I just don't pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes anymore, because it's just such garbage now. So I'm kind of in the middle with the reviews, and don't think it's the greatest movie, nor do I think it's the worst movie by any means. This is actually a movie directed by Michael Dowdery, who actually did the screenplay as well. The story was by Max Bornstein, who actually did Godzilla 2014. He did the screenplay. I'm just reading this right now. Kong Skull Island, he did the screenplay for. And that movie was pretty mediocre. I wasn't a fan of that movie. And Godzilla, he did the story. And he co-wrote the story with Michael Dowdery. So more into Michael Dowdery. He did X-Men 2. He wrote X-Men 2. Okay. He wrote Superman Returns. Yikes. He did Trick or Treat, which I heard is good. Krampus. He did the story for X-Men Apocalypse. God damn, that movie was fucking shit. But to be fair with him, there's like 4 other writers involved. And I feel like this film was too much for him, because this movie is everywhere. So I don't want to get into the bad. I'll get to that later on, but first let's get into the good. The monster fights are awesome. They are fucking spectacular. And one of the criticisms that we had with the last Godzilla film, which I still like, and as you can see I have the DVD and, you know, little Godzilla right there. I enjoyed that film. I thought they did a great job setting up the Godzilla universe, or the monster universe that they were going for. And they didn't give you too much of Godzilla. And a lot of people criticized that. But I liked how, you know, massive and epic the spectacle of it was. When, you know, he appeared and they give you glimpses here and there. I thought that was spectacular. I thought they did a great job. I think Gareth Edwards deserves a lot of credit for it, and that's one of the films that I will defend him to this day. I thought he did a spectacular job. unlike Rogue One. But one of the criticisms was that we didn't see enough Godzilla. Well, guess what? We see a lot of Godzilla here and a shit ton of monster fights, let me tell you. Him and King Ghidorah, who was, oh my fucking god, he was awesome in this movie. He was spectacular. He was definitely the highlight of this film. He was just an incredible badass. I mean, he's king for a reason, with his name, King Ghidorah. And I'd love to see a Funko Pop of that. I mean, that'd be fucking awesome. But it was epic when he was shown. You know, him and Godzilla fighting, him firing off these lightning bolts. And you also see some other monsters involved too. Rodan, Mothra. You don't see the other monsters. I mean, you see glimpses of other monsters. You don't see really enough of Rodan and Mothra. But when they appear, they all have their own signature color theme imprinted. And that, I thought that was unique, and that was really cool. And you see with the posters, and you instantly see it when they appear too. Like Rodan is fire, red, Godzilla blue, Mothra is also like a lighter blue, and King Ghidorah is like a yellow because of the lightning. I thought that was very unique and cool. I liked that they were all unique when they showed up. I just think the action was the true highlight of this film. I mean, that's what you want to come out of seeing this film, just giant monsters fighting this time around. The first one was meant as a setup, meant to introduce you to Godzilla, not to do too much. He did do his fair amount, of course, but after that, I got it. You know, the second movie is meant to be the big, badass brawl between all the different types of monsters. Not every single monster, of course. I mean, that would be ridiculous, but a few of them, and having them just fight it out and duke it out. And this is definitely a movie I would buy on Blu-ray. Absolutely buy on Blu-ray, for sure, because it's just a really nice and beautiful film to see. And especially seeing the giant monsters, you know, King Ghidorah just looks fantastic. And I just want to see like all the different fights closer this time around. Now let's get into the bad, because there is a lot of bad I want to get to, because this movie has problems, man. So first off, the writing. The writing is really bad in this movie, surprisingly really bad. It is done by Max Bornstein, who, you know, he was involved with the previous Godzilla film, King Kong, and so forth. But then you have Michael Dowdery and Zach Shields, and you definitely see like this was just too much for them. They didn't know what the hell they were doing with this story, and they were like, okay, let's just put all the monsters in, just somehow set it up with the human characters and stuff. Let's just put it out there. But man, the writing was just, it honestly rivaled some of the worst movies I've seen yet in Jurassic World. It was that bad, man. It was really that bad. And then we come to the human characters, and without a doubt, I mean, they're terrible. They're fucking terrible. They're nothing compared to the Godzilla movie. Okay, they're nothing compared to it. Bryan Cranston, awesome. Then you have the kick-ass guy, who, you know, many people had their complaints with. He's fine compared to the rest of these guys in this movie. He's fine. He's like leagues ahead of the rest of these people. My God. Just the humans have some of the worst writing in a while. Like the mother. Holy fucking shit. She was fucking awful. My God. I have never seen... She was probably one of the worst written characters I've seen since Last Jedi and so forth, man. She is just awful. I can't believe the way they did her character. Like, it was just so weird. And then they had the eco-terrorists and them being involved in wanting to resurrect the dinosaurs or the monsters and having an army and stuff. Like, it's just weird and bizarre stuff. Like, I just didn't, that was just so fucking bad. Like, I was just cringing. I'm like, looking at my friend like, what the fuck is this? Like, it was that bad. When it comes to that point where I'm just like telling my friend, like, this is some bad fucking writing. The way they wrote a character, awful. Like, that's a bad thing. And when my friend freaking tells me, he's like, yeah, dude, that's a bad sign, because he likes every fucking movie out there. I was just blown away by the things that she did, and some other characters too. But it was just, it was bizarre. It was very, very bizarre. It was on the level of Jurassic World, just the way they were done. And people want to complain that, you know, we shouldn't have human characters, which Angry Joe would want to say. I mean, he's a fucking idiot, of course. But, of course say that, you know, we don't need human characters, we just need monsters. That is the worst complaint I have ever seen. Okay, if you have a pure monster movie, the movie's gonna suck ass, okay? How are we supposed to care for these monsters? They don't even fucking talk, they're just monstrous brutes. You're supposed to have human characters actually set up the movie, tell you what the heck's going on, and have a role to play in. I think the humans still had a little more of a role to play in this, which I didn't like, but they were small compared to Godzilla, of course. But you're supposed to have human characters. You're supposed to have something. You can't just have a pure monster movie and rely on the monsters to carry your fucking film without any human characters to tell you what the hell's going on. That would be the worst fucking movie ever. I'm telling you right now. Angry Joe wouldn't believe me, of course. This is something he would crave for and love. But no, it would never fucking work. It would be the worst fucking thing ever. Honestly, I felt to a point where I really appreciate Godzilla 2014. And even to a point that some of these human characters that I actually liked Kong Skull Island, and I do not like that movie. Even though I gave it an approval, looking back, I would never watch it again. But I might have to watch it again, which I'm not looking forward to, because I just didn't like that movie. But I think the humans were actually better than that, even though it was more of a sillier role than this. Like, it got to that point, I just couldn't believe it. So I'm gonna give Godzilla, King of the Monsters, a... It's a good movie. I mean, it's an enjoyable, fun romp. I honestly wouldn't say it's better than Godzilla 2014. I like that movie a lot more. I think Gareth Edwards did a fantastic job with that film. Even though I do have my criticisms with that movie too, I definitely think it's a much better film, much more cohesive, and better overall film, structure-wise and everything else going into it, than this Godzilla film, just in my opinion. And the action is better by far. And I also want to mention that Godzilla 2014 had some incredible moments. I mean, with the ending and the atomic breath, that was just like an oh my god, are you shitting me moment, everybody's screaming. But in this, there was not one moment where people were like, holy shit, oh my god, people were screaming. None of that. None of that in this movie. And that's a major flaw too. I mean, Godzilla has been known to have that in those movies as well. And it just didn't have that at all. So the next movie is going to be Godzilla vs. Kong, which is coming out next year. I don't know how I feel about that movie now, because it's actually going to be directed by a guy who did Death Note and other really bad horror movies. I just like these unknown directors and niche directors who are now doing these big giant epic movies. Like, you know, Legendary Pictures is still not established when it comes to these monster films just yet. Godzilla 2014, of course, but 5 years later and they come out with this, which is still is more problematic now. But Godzilla vs. Kong, it looks like it could be good, who knows? But I just do not trust the director, so I will reserve judgment, tremendous amount of judgment for that movie. So next is X-Men Dark Phoenix, which I am not looking forward to at all. Yes, I'll find out, but I'm just so done with this Fox X-Men movies, ready to move on, but I have to watch it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to please like this video, comment down below, tell me what you think of Godzilla in the comment section below. Tell me also what you think of the previous Godzilla film as well. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel, Django Fett, and I'll see you, my fellow Mandalorian brothers and sisters, next time. Oh, yeah!